Rain here. Today is another build showcase, and it's Ocucor. Ocucor is pretty much a meta weapon, and it's been for a while. So let me show you the build. Starting with the mods, I'm using Galvanized Diffusion for multi-shot, Galvanized Shot for status chance and direct damage per status on targets, Prime Target Cracker for critical damage. The Ocucor pretty much you must have mod. What makes Ocucor very, very powerful and very, very meta is this mod here. And it says each target eliminated refills 20% of Ocucor's magazine. Status chance and critical chance are increased by 60% for each tendril. So you're wondering how many can you have? It says it right here in his passive. Kill, generate 4 tendrils. What it does is pretty much creates additional laser. Think of it as a chain. So the weapon starts shooting a regular laser, doesn't chain. The moment you kill one, it creates another laser, and it starts chaining everywhere, and it's very, very powerful. And this mod here gives it a lot of status and crit. And once you have capped this, which is 240% critical chance and critical and status chance, this becomes like over 100%, and it's very, very powerful. Heat procs are constantly procking, and it's disgustingly powerful. For the other mods, I'm using the brand new mod that came out in Jade Shadow update. It's called Pistol Elementalist. What it does is nearly doubles your damage on slash, heat, electricity, toxin, blast, and gas. And because we are using heat, it makes heat even more dangerous. Also gives it 60% reload speed, which is a lot of reload speed, and it's very powerful. I'm also using Pistol Pestilence and Jolt. For combining these two, you get Corrosion. Corrosion is good now, better than ever. Also gives you status chance to pretty much constantly proc Corrosion, Radiation, Heat, you know, all the common stuff. And I'm also using Prime Heated Charge to get also Heat, which is the main source of procking a constant amount of status. As you can see here, Heat is the highest chance to be procced when I proc status on enemies, 30.9%, but it's going to be even higher once you get another 240% status chance, which this will go above 100. And yeah, this is going to be like 50% chance, or maybe even higher than 50, to proc Heat, and it's very, very powerful. And Extension, which is a must-have on any beam weapon. What it does, it gives your beam longer range, and that's very, very good. It's a must-have in my opinion. So those are the mods. For the arcane, there are 2 arcane you can use. You can use Secondary Merciless, it's very easy to farm. You can even buy it, it's very, very cheap. What it does, kill enemies, get damage, and gives you reload speed. But if you have time to farm and you have it like entirely, you can use Cascadia Flare, and what this does, it gives you much more damage, as you can see here, 480%. And how this works is on heat status effect you get damage, so you don't need to kill enemies, you can just proc heat on enemies and you get your stacks. While this is you have to kill stuff to get your stacks, and it's much less damage. I think it's 360%, while this is 480%, which is much higher, and it's much more easier to maintain, especially for single target DPSing. If you stop killing and you want to fight single target enemies, you can use this instead, which is in my opinion much better. I'm still farming for this, I forgot it exists. So yeah, I will highly recommend use Cascadia Flare over Merciless, but if you don't have it like me, just use Secondary Merciless. Yeah, those are the mods, the arcane, the stats. So let me show you how the weapon works. So the 2 downside of this weapon are the critical chance. It doesn't scale that well, so that's why you don't need to use it. So that's why you use the Ocucor exclusive mod to give you 240% critical chance, which helps. It's not that game changing, but what's the most game changing is the 240% status chance, and it constantly refills your ammo when you kill stuff, and that's pretty much what makes this weapon a beast. And another downside of this weapon is the base damage is quite low. For high level missions, even if you strip armor or use Nourish, it takes time to kill enemies, so that's kind of annoying. So if you have like a Siren buffer or Mirage or any powerful buffers, it's much better with Ocucor on high level missions. But the moment you start killing enemies, it starts shredding everything. It cleans house. So for example, if you want to do a regular star charge, I'm going to summon like level 55 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. They will like one of the tankiest enemies in the game. And if I will not use any of my abilities, I will just shoot them. And you can see that it like takes time. Once you kill one, it creates this tendril that it connects into one of the enemies, and then the moment it starts killing enemies, it starts, yeah, it's eating them very, very fast. I'll show you again. If you reload this weapon, you will lose your tentacles, tendrils rather, and it becomes annoying again. So yeah, the moment you start killing, stuff becomes more ridiculous. Another thing with this weapon, you don't even really need to aim at enemies. I can just shoot the sky, and the tendrils, while looking at the location, it will just chain around, and it's kind of noobish, in my opinion, and a very lazy weapon. But they design like that, so who cares? So that's pretty much it without any buffs. But if I like use Noresh, it becomes much more disgusting. And you also need to remember, you're never going to be fighting 20 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. You're going to be fighting, like, for example, I'll spawn a bunch of Arcane and shoot them. It's that, and yeah, it just eats them really, really fast. If I spawn like Ganir Battle Group, eats them as well, really, really fast. Even much faster. And yeah, it's very, very powerful. But when it comes to high level content, so I'm going to spawn Steel Path version 195. It takes time, especially when I start shooting this guy, as you can see here. And once you kill one, then it starts becoming stronger and stronger. Especially if you use like I said, buffers. For example, I'm playing Mirage. If I use my clips with them, gives me gives me multiplicative damage. Noresh gives me viral, and double gangers give me additional damage. And start shooting. It's with low effort. You always have max health ammo. You always have constant DPSing enemies. You just move forward, jump around, hold left click. Just look at the direction where the enemies are, and everything dies in seconds. It's very, very powerful. I will say, it's not like the highest hitter secondary, but for the content we have for Warframe, it's by far the best secondary, mostly because of the clear speed. It's very consistent, very powerful. So yeah, that was Ocucor. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like. It will help me out a lot, because the YouTube algorithm is very unfair with very small YouTubers. Please leave a like, and overall, thank you everybody for watching. See you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.